Chris anticipate in the trade market before cut down day?
This time of year, there's a lot of movement. Obviously, teams will be cutting down here at the end of the week, so there's a lot of conversations really on a daily basis. Chris and Brandon handle a lot of that, and I'm obviously involved, so there's a lot of discussions. But all those conversations are obviously private and internal, and we're going to keep it that way.
Brian, we know that roster moves are designed to make you a better team.
Oh, yeah.
How is this team better without T.J. McDonald now?
Well, anytime you make a decision, you try to do it in the best interest of the team. We just felt like in this situation, that was the case with T.J. He's done a good job with this organization for the last few years, and again, all those decisions are tough, but a lot goes into them. Again, those discussions that we have about personnel, and we have a lot of them internally. I'm not going to talk about those particulars and the specifics of those, with you guys, but obviously we have those internally, and again, those are private conversations that we have as an organization.
Is there anything sudden that happened with TJ that kind of changed his direction?
No, nothing sudden. TJ's, he's been a good player for this organization, and he's been a great teammate, and it was just a decision we made as an organization.
Philosophically, how do the middle-aged guys, if you will, 6, 7, 8-year veterans, how do they fit into this team? Because it seems like you're, going more youthful than
good players and productive players and guys that we feel fit what we're trying to do offensively, defensively in the kicking game. We're going to try to keep around. That's going to be the case as long as I'm here. So 6th, 7th, 8th, rookie, 12th doesn't. If you're a good player who works hard and embodies a lot of the qualities we're looking for out of guys on our team, then that's what we're looking for.
Brian, I was just going to ask you about the McCain-Rashad safety combo, if that's the way it ends up. Do you think those two complement each other? Do you like the upside of that combo if you go in that direction?
Again, Bobby, Rashad, it's good to get Rashad back out there. He'd been out for a couple weeks there, so it's good to see him out there. Again, he's going to have to get himself back into playing shape, he's going to have to get back into the defense with the communication and the things of that nature. But yeah, he and Bobby's had a good camp so far. I think the communication between those two, they have a great rapport. And then really the communication amongst the entire secondary and the rest of the defense, that's something that we spend a lot of time on, very important for this team. But I'm looking forward to working with both guys.
Players are very aware, obviously, when a veteran gets cut, that they might be next. Can you give assurances to guys like Kenny Stills and Kiko Alonso that they'll be here this time next week?
I think at this time of year, I think each individual player has to focus on today, focus on getting better today, focus on their technique, their fundamental, their communication, and that's really where their focus should be. We've talked about that as a team, something I talked about and harped on, really since you guys have seen me up here. Let's focus on today. Let's lock in on today, and let's just get better.
Did TJ's strengths and weaknesses as a player, he's a big safety, he's not particularly fast, we all know this, he's played some linebacker, did they not, is it accurate to say they did not mesh very well with the scheme and what you're asking your players to do?
I would say that's inaccurate. I think he's a guy who's has a good skill set, one that's been productive in this league. But there's a lot that goes into putting a team together. Skill set, obviously, production, obviously, communication, obviously, and things of that nature. I think with TJ, at the end of the day, it just wasn't the right fit, and we, as an organization, decided to move on.
It's a salary cap league, as you well know. You guys seem to have plenty of salary cap room. How much of the decisions that you've made, roster-wise, and are about to make, have to do with finances?
I think that's always a part of any move we make. When you look at, the team today, the team this year, the team moving forward, that's always part of it. Putting a roster together, there's many variables. Salary cap being one of them. So that's just one part of the equation that goes into making these decisions. And myself, Chris, Brandon, the coaching staff, we take all these things into account. And I think we just, like I said, I keep saying this over and over again, I feel like a broken record. We're going to do what we feel is best for the team. From a salary cap standpoint, from a performance standpoint on the field, from a, just overall team standpoint, it's just kind of going to be what we're going to do.
Right. What's your now beyond this year?
I think every team is always looking, this year obviously is at the forefront, but every team in this league is looking, into the future, future years, and we're no different. I think, we keep that, in mind as well as, today and this year's team. We've got all of that, and we have to balance all those things as an organization. And how you do that is through communication, open, honest communication. This is what I think. This is what you think. Let's talk it through like any decisions you make. I think that's the process. I think we have a good process. It's something that we've worked on, really since I've got here. Any decision we make, it goes through a certain process. So it's well thought out. A lot of time goes into it. A lot of thought goes into it. And all those variables that we're talking about, production on the field, age, salary cap, they all play into it. There's no, I know we want to have one reason why this happened or that happened, but that's just not how this works. Again, we'll always do what we think is best.
How smooth has that process been for you personally? Like you mentioned, balancing the now, what you want to focus on, and what's best for the team maybe 2 years from now?
I think we have a good process. I think it starts with communication. I think it starts with transparency and being open and honest about how we feel about player X, player Z, player Y. And we go through that process with open and honest communication. I think this, I see this, you see that. If we do that, and we're transparent, then at least everybody's opinions out there, and then we can come to a collective decision as a group. That part I think has been good, and we'll see. At least that way, there's no, hey, well, I should have done this, we should have done that. It's all out there, and between Chris, Brandon, myself, and our coaching staff, that's something we harp on. Hey, if you have a thought or opinion, let's get it out there. Let's talk about it. We're going to have differing opinions. That's football. That's the world, really. And we just work through it.
Brian, what's your general philosophy on the fourth preseason game?
Get better. I think it's a great opportunity for young players, and really all players. Anytime you can step out on the football field and play the game and tackle at full speed and tackle the quarterback and cut block and play the game like you will in the game and in the regular season, I think that's a great opportunity. So the players who are the young players, let's call them, the young players, the guys who are trying to make this, well, everybody's trying to make it, but who are, let's call them on the fringe, it's a great opportunity for them to make plays in the kicking game, make plays offensively, make plays defensively, and try to put some good tape on film, and make our decision hard. That's the goal of each player, is to make our decisions hard. I think that's what you get out of the fourth preseason.
Brian, the other night you had mentioned that you were trying to challenge Kenny to raise his game in the 4 days since then. What have you seen? How has he responded?
I think he's responded well. I think he's practiced well. And I think he's a guy who's got mental toughness, and he works hard, and he's the game's important to him, and I think he's responded well.
Ryan, Laramie has been talking about how he feels the need to be more vocal as a leader in his fourth year here. Is that something that you think needs to happen and should happen?
I mean, I'm always looking for leadership, from players. At the end of the day, those are the guys that are on the field. I'm not going to go out there and make a tackle. I'm not going to go out there and make a call. Nor do I have the ability to do that anymore, at all. So, we're looking for leadership from Laramie. I think he's a guy who has that capability. Obviously, he's a very good player, well respected on the team, and I think he's trending in that direction, and I like seeing it. I do.
Is it fair to say with his accomplishment and imposing physique, his voice, the whole package, that when he talks, his teammates are going to be inclined to listen to him?
I would, yeah. I mean, I don't know about the imposing physique, he's a big guy, but I don't think, I don't think you got a lot of guys in that room who are just going to bow down to anyone. So I hope not. I hope that's not the case, anybody on my team. I really hope that's not the case. Yeah, but I hope that doesn't do it for our, have our guys cower. I really hope that's not the case. But yeah, from a leadership standpoint, his accomplishment and then just his the way he works, and I think, I mean, this is a good player who's done a good job over the last few years and really worked hard, and I think he's got respect in the locker room, as a player, not as an opposing figure. So.
We saw Kiko doing a little bit out there on the field yesterday.
Yeah, good to see him back.
Good to see him.
Yeah, like we talked about yesterday.
Another backer in Raekwon we haven't seen a ton of.
Yeah.
Where is he in his recovery process?
Working his way back. I mean, honestly, I've never seen a guy work so hard to get back as hard as he's working. So he'll be back as soon as he can, and I think he'll be. I think we're getting close. I could say that we're getting close, but it's not for lack of work. I'll tell you that right now. This guy's he's in there as long as a lot of our coaches, from training, lifting, trying to get himself back out on the field. So.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.